reason why we call the smoky part of the lot is because of the tomato paste. We put it first and make it look as if it's about to brown.
So you're basically caramelizing your
Yes. I'm using parboiled rice. You can use brown rice too. The only thing with brown rice is that you have to reduce it to the very minimum because it burns real fast and because it takes forever to roll. But if you're using rice cooker, just put everything in there. It doesn't matter.
Does that work with Instant Pots?
Yes, Instant Pot, yes.
Okay, so you can do the same thing, and you just put everything in together and then set it for the timing for the rice.
Yes.
Ingredients which is making.
Oh,
So you don't have to wash it or do it on the stove that way.
you would probably you would make it in the bottom of the Instant Pot, and then you would add everything.
Add everything. So I always encourage to wash our rice. I don't know why. That's where I grew up washing rice before you cook it. I think it just removes a little excess starch. But when I came to the US, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I still wash my rice. No harm. So it's already cooking. It looks as if it's going to burn. That's how it's going to look. So, alright.
Yeah.
So now,
Yummy.
yeah. So now we can put my pepper mix. For one reason, I didn't know I didn't print the method, but we have the method, just follow the same method from the other journal. So my pepper mix says 1 cup, but we're going to do 2 cups just because we're cooking double. So we put like I said before, we put the tomato paste in first, just because we wanted to have a smoky effect. Because back home we cook with a wooden stove, and as with the wood, and you can smell the smoke. So this is just real good. So this. So now I put my seasoning. So it says 1 tablespoon, but we're gonna do 2 because we're cooking for 2. So this is how it looks. It has just fresh seasoning, no MSG, no artificial flavors, just all kinds of seasoning. And I think I have the ingredients at the back. So now I go with my stock. Usually I make my stock at home. When I boil my chicken or my turkey or my beef, I just put them in the freezer. So for today, I bought it from the store.
Let's swap and do some more.
And it says 1 cup, but we're going to do 2. You can see it's boiling already. So now, once the rice gets in, we'll reduce it. Because that's what gives it a smoky effect. So I'm going to add the rice. So we already washed the rice. That's why it's in here. I'm going to scoop it in.
Yeah. Every time when you wash it beforehand, it's like, now I'm great.
Okay. So I'm going to mix it together and add my water. Then we reduce the heat. You have to reduce it because it's going to burn and it's going to cook. I always like to put my salt last so that, just in case. But this is all well measured. It should give us exactly what we need. And for tomato paste, just any brand is fine. I just put it on So I'm going to put my water. So it says 2 cups of water, but we're going to do 4. So it's all mixed together very, very well, so it can go around. It's just the same thing when you're using a rice cooker. Mix it very well so that the seasoning can go around. So once the water comes, I mix again, then I reduce the heat. Usually I use the foil so that the heat can stay in. 4. Okay, it's fine. This is 4 cups. No, this is the one with the, listen. Oh, I'm sorry. So that's just the option if we don't have the love seasoning.
Okay.
Great. I didn't put the water in there.
Yeah.
That's my mistake, sorry.
No, you're fine. So it would be right after the rice.
Yes, it would be right after the
Yeah.
rice.
So it says add the rice in the method, so it would be after the rice, you would add the water.
I'm also thinking, let's just do the sauce once and for all. So it says 1 teaspoon, but I'm gonna do 2. Once and for all, and we're done.
So yeah, in the method, right after the rice, you would add the water.
So even at home, this is the way I do it at home because and I reduce it here. Sorry.
And extra little, like, protection for sealing, so you're not losing any of the.
Just to keep the moisture in this thing. So now it's on medium, it's really low. So we'll leave it and we'll go to the next thing. So the next thing that takes a little bit of time is our chicken dodo. Usually back home is giz dodo, which is gizzard and dodo. Dodo is fried plantain. But when I came here, I realized a lot of Americans don't eat gizzard, so we like chicken. So I already sliced some of my plantain, but I'm gonna use this as a sample. So to save time, I get my pan ready while I do that. I think this one.
So where's the plantain?
It should be on chicken dodo, the next one.
So it's one, the chicken dodo, it's plantain and the chicken in one. Okay, so it'll be the next recipe. Do you not have one?
Should be there.
I know. If it's not there, that's my fault. What, in between? Exactly.
And I have something I'm gonna use to cook the.
Like a slotted steak?
Yes, so one because of the plantain, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Dodo is fried plantain.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna show us how to dice it because normally when we fry plantain, it could be long ones, it could be round, but because of the recipe, because we're gonna mix it with some, chicken, we always dice it. So this is just, and we don't plantain, I think they call it plantanos yes. So it's not banana, it's usually the
Yeah.
yes. I try to get very, very ripe ones, but because the weather it's not summer yet, so. And another trick is that when it's not very ripe, when I use it, I just put a little bit of salt.
Where do you like to get your plantains when they are ripe? So during the summertime, where's your favorite place to go?
I go to any Mexican store.
How
And it's cheaper at Winco. It's just that sometimes Winco, their plantain is a little bit weird. Sometimes, and you buy the green one, it just never gets ripe. And if you're lucky, if you buy it ripe, then you know you're getting something.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting, I'm gonna get the sauce ready too. So while we're waiting for the oil, we're gonna start. So that's why we have this here. So for the sauce, we don't want the pepper all the way blended. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm gonna use this. I think this is a little bit. Red pepper. 2 and 4 tomatoes and 1 onion.
Have you ever done it without red, like done a different kind of pepper if that's what you have, or does it need to be red?
It doesn't have to. Most times it has to be red because you need the red color.
It is paramount that it's orange or red, or can I throw in an orange one? Well, I'll just know.
It was when I came to the US I realized people take out the seeds. There's so many things I realized when I go to the US.
Yeah, I mean, why waste it if you don't have to?
And this is onions. So we're doing this just because I don't want to put water in it, remember?
Yeah, right there.
A little bit more.
Okay.
I
got it?
I didn't want it to fly out.
Yeah.
I'm using the pause because I just don't.
So if you only had a food processor, you could do the other in it, but just add some water.
Yes,
Is that
but
right?
yes, but mostly for jollof rice, we want the pepper to blend. Yes, but we can use both.
I was just, sometimes people are like, I don't have a blender, or I only have a blender, and I don't
Yes.
have a food processor. So I'm trying to answer all of the questions that are happening in their head. Like, I don't even have a food processor. Should I just chop it up really finely?
There is a thing in I saw on Instagram, they said they never taught us how to cook with measurement. You just keep adding until the spirit says it's okay. Or until the God says it's okay.
But some people's spirits are a little saltier than others. All right?
I know. Yes.
Oh, there's oil.
And I didn't measure the oil too. I just assumed this should be enough to fry. So we fry until it's golden brown. Then it's done.
I told someone in a cooking class, just add salt until just what your heart tells you. And then it was the saltiest thing I've ever had in my life. And I was like, oh, okay, so just don't tell people that because sometimes that goes south and not good.
So we're gonna do the chicken dodo here. So I think this one. That's not the right one. Okay, now this one. Okay, perfect. But it's already washed, and the measurement says 1/3 cups of vegetable oil. That one, 1/3 here. Yep.
Or are you gonna want like paper towel? for it?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. 1/3. I always, it's not a lot of oil because everybody's trying to be healthy. Can you see? Just 1/3. So this is just one onion that I already cut and just to save time. So I always like to fry my onions first because it just brings out the flavor more.
So even fresh
Good job.
Yeah. So when I was packing, I didn't bring, the recipe says bouillon, but I didn't bring the bouillon because I'm trying to avoid the energy. So I'm trying to just do everything healthy. And I didn't have time to change the recipe. So I'm going to use
a little bit of extra seasoning here.
yes.
Oh yeah, you can chop it for you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Do you want it small?
Yes, please. And then we have fresh thymes. I've not done this in a long time, so I'm happy and excited for this. Because we just bought it from the store.
I throw it.
That's good.
Yeah. Go out and pick a piece.
So because I diced it, normally if we slice it, we're probably going to be turning the plantain. So plantain is the dodo there. You're going to be turning the one after the other, but because we dice it, so I just turn. So what I also do when I'm cooking, I put all my seasonings first before the pepper, so that it's like you're frying your seasoning. So it's really good. So you're free to use any seasoning you like, you're comfortable with. Because I don't want to use the bouillon in the recipe. Like I said, oh, I'll use Italian seasoning, a little bit of this and this. So just because even the bouillon already has all those things.
It has a lot of salt.
Yes. So that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Good. But if you're at home and you want to just grab a bouillon cube, like we're not going to judge you from here.
So
But
this is Italian seasoning. It's not in the recipe, but we're not using bouillon, that's why. And I'm using the smallest spoon, so you just know. And I always taste it to see if I still need salt. So this is curry, just because we're going to be using bouillon. This is Garam masala. It's like an Indian recipe, but I use it a lot at home. It just gives it that extra kick.
Sorry.
Okay.
all right, here you are.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm reducing this too because it looks like it's burning. This is what I want it to look like.
Good job.
So I already reduced the heat.
They almost caramelize, right?
Yeah.
With the sweetness.
Yes. And this looks like it's burning, but that's what we're trying to achieve. And I reduce it too. Then my garlic goes in. So the recipe didn't say tomato paste. We don't have to, but because I just had the leftover from this, that's why I'm using it. But you don't have to. But it's just because I have leftover. And it's just a little. But you don't have to.
because you're already using the tomatoes.
Yes.
So this is just adding a little bit more tomato flavor. But if you're already using, especially probably during the summer, you have really amazing tomatoes, and you don't need more tomato flavor. Then you have it, why not?
I'm gonna put it on low. Can I have a seed? I'm gonna put this off.
Yes.
Actually, just to get it up. I already put it off. So this is what we need it to look like. And this is on low. So because it's gonna go in the chicken sauce, we don't have to make sure everything is all brown. You know, I remember I said it's not super ripe, so we still want to enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, right.
So this is on low, this is on low.
I need to be better about making plantains. I love plantains, but I always like, but when I make them, they're amazing. You can deep fry them and make chips
Yes.
out of them,
Yes.
which is really fun.
Yes. You can deep fry them in a deep fryer. That's what we do at home. I'm like, whoever made a deep fryer, God bless the person.
Truly.
Have space.
Yeah, I'll put a little
So this is what this looks like. Can you see?
Yeah.
That's if it's burning, but that's where the thing is. So now my pepper comes in. My pepper, this one.
Also tried air frying the plantain.
Yeah, we can also have fry something.
Oh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I haven't made the plunge yet, and I think I need to.
How?
I don't have a lot of room. I have such a small house. I think I might want.
Do you want a spatula?
Or a spoon?
I don't want it to have done it before everything just went straight to the pot.
Oh. Here, I'll get you. This?
Yes, this is good. We're using everything because I already said how many tomatoes we should use in the recipe. So we're using everything. And there's no water in it. So we're just gonna use the only thing that is like water in there is the chicken stock.
Could you use vegetable stock if you're going
Yes.
vegetarian? You could do
Yes,
vegetable stock
you
with
can use
no,
vegetable stock. Yeah.
and then just not add chicken.
Yes. You can use carrots, but that's what we eat this one. I couldn't get the small carrots, so I didn't bring it. But that's fine. We already have a lot of.
Is this a recipe that you would add any vegetables that you kind of have around the house? And if you have,
And that's it. So I'm gonna increase it a little bit again. So I'll just go back and forth because I really want it to cook. So we're gonna let it cook. So it's on medium because I don't want it to burn. So we'll let it cook. Then once the time is ready, we put it in. Then we're gonna start with the drink. So the drink is hibiscus tea. How many of you have had hibiscus tea before? I drink that every day. Yes, we call it zobo in my country. Zobo. So it's also called Jamaica in, I think, in Spanish. A lot of other African countries, especially the French-speaking countries, they call it sorrel. So that's what we're gonna make. Can you help me with it? Yes. Sorry,
yes, I can.
So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like, the fresh one. You can pass it around just basically one of the things. So that when you see it in the store, they usually have it at Mexican stores. So this is my time. I'm putting my time back in there. This smells so heavenly.
Wear it around your neck.
Yes.
As the perfume.
So that's my fresh time, yeah. Okay, that's it now. Thank you. So we're gonna prepare it. So that's what it looks like. But to save time, like you can go to the next day. Are you on the page for the Zobo drink? Hibiscus tea? Yes. So what I usually do, some people blend it, but I think I usually don't get so much. So I soak it overnight or boil. So this I already soaked it last night to make it easier for us. And I brought it soaked, and when I got here, I sieve it, and I always wash it because you don't know whoever has touched the leaves. I always wash it. Like some people say, oh, you're taking the nutrients out. I'm like, there's still more nutrients there because you can soak it even after washing, you're still gonna get something out of it. I always wash it because you never know whoever has touched the leaves. So after washing, I soak it from last night. This is just plain. This has no taste, but it's a very good source of iron. So where's my box?
Yes, right here.
So I like to cook it just because I just don't want to put sugar. Like I learn from a lot of mistakes. So every year when I do World Food Festival, my sugar is always settling on. I'm like, ah. And I learned that I should cook it so that the sugar can melt.
So you could also maybe use simple syrup instead. Is that right?
Yes, but I just like to. I prefer sugar. I don't know why. So I'm gonna put it in here. Oh, you can put as much water as you like.
So based on how dark you like your tea.
Yes. See why I always mix it. Why I always soak it. So it's on, and it says 4 cups of water and cook to boil. Where's our cup?
Right
Okay,
there.
can
I
you
will
see
get you some.
4 cups of water. It's gonna be a lot, so you can all take one. So this is 4 cups of water, and you can always reduce it to your, And sometimes I make a lot. Just put it in the refrigerator. Nothing happens to it. You can have it for 3 months. Nothing will happen with no preservative because you made it yourself. Nothing will happen to it. And it says I just pineapple chunks and 2 ginger to blend and blend to a pulp. So it's on already, but I'm gonna skip and put the sugar. It says sugar. Half cup of sugar. I like to put my cloves in there. And we all know cloves is so very healthy. I have a measurement. That's a measurement on it.
You close 20.
So this is just 1 teaspoon of cloves. I got this from Winkle. Perfect. Then I'm gonna put my sugar. My sugar says half cup. But if you taste it and you feel, oh, I need more sugar, feel free to have sugar.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So you told me to drink hibiscus tea every day.
It's
How do you? Yes.
And it says cinnamon. There's no taste.
So you can use ground or a stick, either one, or
Yeah.
you just want the stick. Okay, doesn't matter. Whatever you have on hand.
And a little bit of turmeric.
Okay.
Where's my turmeric? Right here. Did I put a measurement for it?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. So just 1 teaspoon.
I'm sure it helps with color as well, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a little bit muddy brown.
And it's optional. You don't have to put turmeric. It's optional. Good for you. Yeah.
That's very good.
And now we're gonna blend. I just got this from the store, pineapple chunks. You can have it fresh, but I'm like, no, we don't have time.
And honestly, it's better as far as like if you can't get frozen.
Sometimes it's even cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ginger.
And adding extra sugar.
And that's it.
It's a challenge.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have what I need. So what I do, I just sieve it. I can put a little bit of water in it so I can sieve it real good.
Lots of spoons. Everything.
That would be clever to see that go flopping to the.
I know.
Yeah, it's happened to me before, so that's why, you're listening. So I just do this. Straight in.
Do you ever add any other fruit?
I've done mango before.
If you happen to have a box of
Yeah.
peaches, mangoes, strawberries.
But because we have lots of foreigners living there, it's Nigeria is a country where we have lots of Americans, Indians, Chinese, Lebanese, everybody working. So they have to meet their needs too.
Sounds like America.
Yeah. I think I got enough what I need.
Take that from you.
Let me stir it. It smells good already. So I'm gonna try some of this. Okay, so this looks ready. So I'm not expecting it to be really, really, thick so much. So we already. I didn't put salt yet, but I like to put salt as the last thing. So now I'm gonna put my chicken. So for the chicken, just for the purpose of this class, we cheat it. So I'm just going from Fred Meyer or Costco.
So you would just, if you were home and you wanted to, you would just roast the chicken.
Yes, you can just roast the chicken or anything. But I just always like the rotisserie chicken because it's just easy. So I'm gonna use everything. I already cut it up.
So it's like a 5 to 7 pound roast chicken. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to roast your own, you could just easily do that. Especially if you're doing the whole freezing method, you could make a couple of chickens and then have it frozen in your freezer, and then the next time you want, you have the frozen tomato and pepper sauce and the chicken stir fry, and then you can just stick it all
So
in.
I'm gonna cover it so it cooks together a little bit. So this is what the chicken looks like. Then we're gonna add our fried plantain later. It doesn't have to be hot or boiled. The sugar is I just usually cook it so that I can get a little bit of the cloves. Cloves, you get the taste of the cloves when it is in hot water, and the cinnamon. So it doesn't have to be super, super, super hot. Just now, the sugar is all melted. And I'm gonna taste it if we need more sugar, but to me, I think it's okay. I don't like too much sugar, so this is my measurement. Feel free to add more sugar to yours. We can just take this off because we don't need it anymore. But I always like to leave the cloves in my picture because the more water, the more you get something out of it. Okay, let's just pour it. Okay. I'm trying to pour it out, but it's not. You can leave the ginger in, but sorry, the cinnamon too if you like.
Yeah.
So the turmeric actually changed the color, but like I said, it's optional. You don't have to.
So we're garnishing with some cucumber, some lemon, and lime.
And the recipe says put any sparkling water. So I brought Sprite, and they also have sparkling water. So the Sprite also has sugar, so that's why I actually reduced my sugar.
Does anyone want just sparkling water? Does anyone want just Sprite? Just water. Just water. And Jeanette, do you want Sprite or do you want sparkling water?
Water. If you're asking me.
Yes, water. Raise your hand if you want Sprite. Yeah? Sparkling water?
Can you
No, I
mix
think
it?
the
Yes, you
Sprite
can
would
mix
add a
it.
different flavor.
Yeah. So yes.
Because it's not sweet. So.
And then Ken, do you want
Half sparkling and
half
half
and half?
Sprite.
Okay, great. Perfect. So we're gonna do 4 sparkling and then 2 half and half.
So while they're doing that, I think this is ready for my dodo.
I'm just gonna pop them in. We'll do just one of each.
Plantain.
Maybe 2 of the.
I also fried some plantain from home, some just
There was a check.
Because the recipe says 5, so already we like this.
Oh yes, for extra plantains.
So after this, then I'll taste it if it needs salt.
Perfect.
Because we already put a lot of seasoning, you know. Then we're gonna look at our jollof too. It should be almost ready by now.
I do Sprite and 2, and then we're gonna top it with those 2.
I'm gonna grab a small spoon to just taste. Look, can you see my little bit? Because this is a side dish. You can have more water if you like, but we don't have to. You know what? You can also still use the jollof seasoning too, as you know, a little picture if you want. I don't want to.
If anybody would like a refill, this is good. Please just
Good?
raise your hand. I can come around too.
Yes. You want to refill?
So now we're gonna check on our jollof rice. Yes, I think it's. Oh my goodness, look at it. Use it a little bit.
I like it. I really taste the ginger and just the different flavors of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at the rice.
Oh, wow.
No.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
I'm just gonna trust my judgment that we have enough salt and everything. That's what the measurement is for, right? But either way, it's still gonna taste good. Can I have an extra spoon to just see if it's cooked,
Yes, of course.
please? Well, it looks like it's ready.
How about I give you a fork?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god, it smells amazing.
It's perfect.
It's
So can you imagine just the jollof seasoning, no other seasoning? Yeah. It's good. I think we're good. We're done.
Wow. That was.
And if you look at the other recipe, if we have butter, you can just put a little. Do we have butter here? If not, let's just put a little bit.
We have tons in the back. Let me grab some.
We always just it just gives it that kick and just that's what makes the smoky jollof perfect. And right now it's on low.
So is rice the staple,
Yes.
and then the sides are the
Yes. But some people use it as a full meal too, because the plantain, it's, you know, when it's fried, it's carbohydrates. The chicken, you have your protein. No measurements. I just do it until the gut says it's good. Well, I think I have a recipe that says the exact measurement, but I don't have it here. Let's do it a little bit. And I mix it together. Okay, let's measure it actually. Let's just use 1 TBS, 1 tablespoon.
TBS.
Yes, that's it.
1 TBS.
And because it's hot, just mix. And we are done. Now feel free to garnish it with whatever you like.
Do you want me to try that? I can do it real quick.
No, it's fine because I can see. Should we?
You can try.
Okay. So it's on the lowest, and I should do this again.
Do you want this small?
Yes, just a little. And I remember we're supposed to garnish this with this. So I didn't bring, the recipe says with carrots, but because I couldn't find shredded carrots, and I didn't want to come to slice carrots, that's why I didn't bring them.
Oh.
So, I want to make sure I have the right spoons ones I've been using. Oh, yeah, these are clean ones. Let's just use everything.
Everything you got. Throw it all in. I probably took it from you. Oh, this here?
Yes. Thank you. Can you see that? Beautiful.
So can you adjust the heat of these recipes like by adding cayenne, or do you add it?
If you
do you add
don't, we didn't even put
jalapeno?
any pepper or, I didn't put it. Because, but if you want it hot, feel free. Normally, if I'm doing this at home, there must be probably habanero or scotch bonnets in my pepper mix, but I didn't. Because I want you to enjoy.
Yeah, you do. You want to make everyone on fire.
I'm going to add just a little water to this until it's a little bit too thick. That's fine. Or you can actually eat it like this if you like. That's just fine.
Trying to spill water on you, sorry.
That's okay. So when I tasted it, we don't need any salt. So the seasonings are enough. So we show sometimes we don't even, it's not all the time we need salt. Because the chicken already has salt. And I put a little salt in the plantain when I fry it too, remember? So feel free to ask me any question if you have any question. I think we're ready.
Wow.
Can you see how beautiful this looks?
Yeah.
It looks like I ever sliced the pepper. Yes, it just take. That's ready. And I think the rice, yes, the onions, just to garnish. And by now my butter is already melted. So I can actually put it on while I just. It's a scotch bonnet. It's the reg habanero.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I grew up when I grew up knowing. When I came to this country, I found habanero. It's a red, that's just red tiny ones.
Is it hotter?
Yes, it's hotter than habanero. Okay, food is ready, everyone.
Okay, we'll bring it back here and we'll plate.
Okay,
Yeah.
should I bring it?
Yes,
just
let
put
me.
it I love when the food smells amazing through the mask.
I know.
It's good. That's an accomplishment. Very
Oh,
good.
I had one.
So do you have a store
Yes.
and where's it?
It's an open and market, just like Pietro. You know where Pietro's Pizza is?
Oh.
Pietro's Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's pizza place. Okay, we have Cooper's there, we have Subway there. Alton and Market, across from
Hotel. What's the name of the
across
hotel?
from Doubletree and McDonald's.
Oh.
Yeah. Pizza on
You know Red Lion on Market?
Then I-5.
No, I'm not familiar.
Do you have a business card of that?
Yeah, she has it. It's on Hawthorne, right?
Hawthorne and Market?
Alton and Market.
Hawthorne and Market.
Yes.
Okay.
And what are your hours?
Mondays I open at 12 and I close at 5. Tuesday 10:30 to 5. The Wednesday to Saturday 10 to 6. Sundays we're closed. I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't.
Can't stop, won't stop. Sorry.
We can't stop.
When you're catering, you cook so early, so when I wake up, I smell through the vents the
Wow.
food, and it brings me downstairs.
And then you're like, this is for other people. What the heck?
I'm just gonna hand you my phone. Maybe you can take
Yes,
a bunch
I'll
of
take
pictures. That way Bonnie can be jealous.
The way you had it just made it look nice.
We did basically nothing. We just took what you made and
No.
made it pretty.
We made you look good.
Yeah.